Follow That Star, A Christmas Story. Look at that lamb. Clarence and Hugh stood in the back of the truck chewing on straw. Domino, the donkey, and Greta, the goat, watched from the truck bed as Davy chased Star around the snowy farmyard. "Star," Davy called, "don't you want to be in a play?" "Bah!" said Star as she ran round and round the truck. See, look, there's Star. "It's a pageant, not a play," Dad said, "and if we don't leave soon, there won't be a donkey for Mary to ride or sheep for the shepherds to keep watch over." Davy watched Star disappear behind the truck. He'd never catch Star. She was too fast. "Hurry, Davy," Dad called. Davy ran to the front of the truck. "Star," he called. "Please, Star, be good." "Bah!" Davy saw Star's hoof sticking out from under the truck. "I've caught you," Davy said, and he tugged on the lamb until he pulled her out. Then he put both arms around Star and picked her up, even though she was almost as big as Davy, and put her into the truck. See, there he is carrying her. "All set," Davy called as he shut the gate and scrambled into the truck beside Dad. "Star will be good," he said. "I promise." "Just don't let her out of your sight," said Dad as he drove the truck out of the farmyard. "I won't," Davy said. "Thanks for letting me bring her." "She's sure got a mind of her own," Dad said. "She'll be good," Davy said, more hopeful than certain. Half an hour later, they arrived in town. Dad stopped in front of the church. The empty stable on the snowy church lawn was surrounded by a wall of hay bales. See these? Davy led Clarence and Hugh into the stable. Dad tugged on Domino's halter, and the donkey followed him into the stable. Greta trailed behind. "Please, Star," whispered Davy, "be a good lamb tonight." Obediently, Star followed Davy into the stable and nibbled on the hay in the manger. Look, they're all ready to do the pageant. Suddenly, the church doors banged open. Children dressed as angels, shepherds, and wise men came running. They crowded into the stable behind Star. "Look!" cried a small girl dressed as an angel. "A lamb!" The angel ran straight toward Star. "Bah!" cried Star, a frightened look on her face as she jumped over the hay and dashed across the snow. Uh-oh, see that little angel's chasing Star. "Star!" Davy shouted. "Star, come back!" But Star didn't even turn her head. She crossed the icy sidewalk and kept right on running. "There she goes," a wise man cried. "Follow that star." Davy chased after Star. 2 angels, 3 wise men, and 4 shepherds followed. They slid and slipped along the sidewalk, dragging the hems of their robes through the snowdrifts. The shepherds followed the wise men, who followed the angels, who followed Davy, who followed Star, who kept on running. "Come back, Star," Davy called, because he couldn't catch her. A group of builders working on the new bank gasped as Star ran past. They watched as she skidded through the intersection. "Help us catch that lamb," the shepherd called. 4 builders joined the chase and followed the shepherds, who followed the wise men, who followed the angels, who followed Davy, who followed Star, who kept on running. Davy hoped that Star was getting tired. Star turned onto First Avenue and zoomed past the art museum. A scout troop watched the excitement from the museum steps. "What's going on?" they asked. "Escaped lamb," someone called. The scouts joined the chase. 3 scouts followed the builders, who followed the shepherds, who followed the wise men, who followed Davy, who followed Star, who never looked back. As Davy ran, his feet pounded out the words, "Star, come back! Star, come back!" Star sped past a toy shop where 4 children were looking in the windows. "Look," they said, "it's a lamb leading a parade." The children ran after the scouts, who followed the shepherds. The children ran after the scouts, who followed the builders, who followed the shepherds, who followed the wise men, who followed the angels, who followed Davy, who followed Star, who looked like she might be slowing down. Davy almost caught up with Star just as she ran into the street. Horns sounded, brakes squealed, cars skidded to a stop. "Hey!" yelled a taxi driver. "What's that lamb doing downtown?" The taxi driver stopped his cab and got out. He followed the children, who followed the scouts, who followed the builders, who followed the shepherds, who followed the wise men, who followed the angels, who followed Davy, who followed Star, who was definitely not slowing down. Uh-oh. No matter how fast Davy ran, Star ran faster. She ran across 10th Street and into the parking lot of a restaurant. Star and Davy and the angels and the wise men and the shepherds and the builders and the scouts and the children and the taxi driver circled the restaurant. The diners were staring out of the windows. 8 diners put on their coats and joined the chase. They followed the taxi driver, who followed the children, who followed the scouts, who followed the builders, who followed the shepherds, who followed the wise men, who followed the angels, who followed Davy, who followed Star, who never stopped running. Star dashed down the sidewalk and leaped over a hay bale. Davy leaped over the hay bale too, followed by the angels, wise men, shepherds, builders, scouts, children, taxi driver, and diners. The little lamb trotted to a small stable where a baby lay sleeping in a manger. A boy and a girl, dressed up like Mary and Joseph, were watching. The wise men, shepherds, and angels gathered around. "Oh," someone said. "Ah," someone sighed. "Shh," a child whispered. "The baby's asleep." Davy looked for his dad and saw him leaning against his truck. "I'm sorry, Dad," Davy sobbed. "I tried to catch Star. I really did." Dad placed one arm around Davy's shoulder as they walked to the manger. "It's all right, son," he said. "Look at all the people Star led to the manger." Then Davy and his dad knelt down, along with 2 angels, 3 wise men, 4 shepherds, 4 builders, 3 scouts, 4 children, 1 taxi driver, and 8 diners, as the ancient words rang out, "Behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. Ye shall find the babe, wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger."